you for joining us. My name is Serena Diarpo. I'm with Lodestar Solutions, and I'd like to introduce you to robust planning with TM1. Going through our agenda, I will explain what Lodestar Solutions is about. We'll discuss the challenges mid-sized companies are faced with, but also the opportunities, and you will see clearly why we have built IBM Cognos Express as a performance management solution. I shall then introduce you to IBM Cognos Express so you can see how it can help your company capitalize on the opportunities in front of you and how it addresses the challenges your business faces. Lastly, we shall discuss a practical approach to getting started. Lodestar Solutions is an IBM Cognos Premier reselling partner providing competitive quotes on licenses and support renewals. We have experienced consultants, we do on-site customized training, and we provide technical assistance. We have senior cross-certified consultants, and Lodestar hosts IBM Cognos user groups in the Chicago, Atlanta, Michigan, Florida areas, as well as virtually online. We also host educational webinars, networking sessions, and we have our own personal Lodestar social club. While most people are starting to see the green shoots in the economy, these are still such difficult times. But interesting to note that historically in past recessions, small and mid-sized businesses have suffered less and recovered faster than larger companies, according to the U.S. Department of Labor statistics. IBM recently conducted a comprehensive survey of over 1,800 mid-sized businesses and IT leaders globally. Approximately half of them, 53%, surveyed companies are concentrating their efforts on increasing efficiency and lowering costs. The other half, approximately 47%, have an innovation mindset with their primary focus on finding new sources of growth, transformation for competitive advantage, and strengthening customer relationships. The magnitude of change that is affecting industries today is unprecedented. Difficult economic conditions, a broader set of business imperatives, and evolving technology requirements are presenting mid-sized companies with as many threats as opportunities. It's becoming increasingly clear that innovative, forward-thinking organizations can do more than survive in this environment. They can actually thrive. To continue that path to success, mid-sized businesses must embrace new and better ways of doing business. This is a smarter world, one where mid-sized companies are taking a fresh look at ways to make far better use of the information and resources available to them. As we see, hope is not a strategy. We have silos of inconsistent data and disconnected planning and people making gut-feeling decision-making. Typically, mid-sized companies are not lacking in data about their products or customers and their buying trends. However, they often struggle with yielding meaningful insights from that plethora of data and are not able to make fact-based decisions or derive insight from information at their disposal. People are taking snapshots of data and putting them into spreadsheets and applying their own custom formulas and calculations. How many times have you walked into a meeting with 3 different people having 3 different sets of data on the same topic? You end up spending more time arguing about data than actually analyzing it. So often decisions are made on gut feel, because those decisions are based on the information people have on hand, and it may not be accurate, timely, or even complete. And because the planning process is often a disconnected exercise conducted periodically, when key decisions are made, it can take a long time to align the appropriate resources, both with the people that are the decision makers and the dollars that are needed involved. What we'd like to do is get those spreadsheets into one area. More data and more spreadsheets is not the solution. Spreadsheets can grow like weeds and become unmanageable. We want to end the siloed analysis paralysis where we just keep growing more spreadsheets. Clearly, we need to do things differently. It must be an interconnected system. First, we need to better manage key data and get control over this proliferation of spreadsheets and data silos. We can then begin to provide meaningful information. We can then dive deeper and uncover key insights and new opportunities. And finally, we can take action by aligning the right resources to capitalize on these new opportunities. It's the interconnected system that enables you to go from data to information, from information to insight, and from insight into action. When you are in this interconnected system, it truly becomes our data. You want to eliminate the silos from marketing, from HR, from sales, and down the line. To underscore the key capabilities that are required, you start by getting control of your data by leveraging the power and speed of an analytics server that features a modern in-memory architecture. You don't have to actually start with an expensive and time-consuming data warehouse. You then create an information-driven and accountable culture through dashboards and reports. This provides highly visual, at-a-glance views of information to ensure executives and business managers can quickly focus on the areas of performance that need attention and action. They help monitor the business. For example, are sales trending up or down? Am I maintaining my profit margin? You can then identify opportunities and issues through analysis. This allows you to gain insight so that you can compare and contrast to reveal symptoms and causes behind trends. And finally, you align resources with decisions through planning, budgeting, and forecasting. The focus of clients today is obviously their profitability, but it's also a profitability down at a customer level or a product level. Your distribution analysis at a customer or product level, an inventory analysis, cash flow forecasting. And again, solving the business needs. You need to take that information, gain insight, and take action. IBM Cognos Express is the first and only integrated one-stop BI and planning solution purpose-built to meet the needs of mid-sized companies. It delivers all the essential capabilities, including ad hoc queries, reporting, dashboards and scorecards, analysis, and planning and budgeting and forecasting. It provides mid-sized companies with consistent, reliable information, the ability to uncover new insights, and to take action. With Cognos Express, you can make better, faster decisions to drive greater efficiencies, reduce costs, and identify new growth opportunities. For organizations that are beginning to embark or expand on a BI and planning strategy, Cognos Express includes everything needed to get started right away. It offers powerful but easy-to-use capabilities for both novices and advanced users to encourage broad adaptation throughout a company. For most, the end goal is to have beautiful and dynamic dashboards. By adding TM1 to your BI, you are able to add in trending analysis from historical data and project future trends to support the goal of building a planning and forecasting solution to steer your business where you want to go. IBM Cognos TM1 is not only a planning forecasting model, but you're also able to do what-if analysis and financial reporting. It's a patented 64-bit read-write in-memory analytic engine, and it's a fusion of analysis, planning, and reporting. It can be owned by the finance department, and it has a passionate client base. And it allows Excel and web-based reporting, and it supports multiple hierarchies. TM1 has several components to it, and it would be the TM1 servers, also known as applications, which is a real-time calculation engine, dimension list that can support multiple hierarchies and share dimensions between cubes. Cubes can contain rules and multiple cube structures built to transfer data flow. And it also has the turbo integrator process, which updates data and structure as well. Cubes can contain up to 256 dimensions. They can maintain a large amount of data. They truly are like pivot tables on steroids. It's almost like taking Access and Excel and making their strengths work seamlessly together. And Cognos Express allows for several different interfaces for both power users and end users. TM1 Perspective also known as Accelerator in Cognos Express, leverages the Excel capabilities. The Excel add-in allows you to pull in data from multiple cubes into a single spreadsheet that is dynamic with TM1. They are easy to use for your power users and can be put out to end users via TM1 Web to use for data input, reporting, and are useful for prototyping what you want built in BI. You can configure your end user experience using TM1 Web, TM1 applications, or a combination of both depending on your data purposes. So what's new in TM1 10.1? Performance Modeler has been added and is a great tool to allow novice TM1 users to build models and support end user applications. This interface is similar to Cognos Planning and is more visually based and easy to understand for the typical finance person. Cognos Insight allows for other users outside of finance to create models that a TM1 administrator from your finance team would be allowed to review and then import and distribute to your larger user base. So as we see here in the picture, in essence, TM1 is the hub that allows finance to design models for operations, to input planning and report on data, to then create and distribute reports for your business decision makers. TM1 is a flexible tool that can leverage data from multiple source systems into a single database. You can then use that database to analyze data, create your planning and forecasting process, and then provide these results to a dynamic BI interface. Within TM1 alone, its multiple interfaces to this database allow you to tailor access for your users based on the functionality they need and at the security level your business requires. Again, TM1 is the fast calculation engine that will allow you to take the raw data from multiple source systems, apply business rules, consolidations, and analysis trending calculations that can be supplied to BI. Here we show Cognos Connection. Cognos Connection is the portal used to access your BI and TM1 data. TM1 Application Web allows you to follow the progress of the input with the workflow functionality, and you can have multiple workflow applications depending on your needs. So you can see your progression of how your users are inputting their budget. Both TM1 Web and TM1 Applications Web both have easy-to-create charting capabilities that allow you to choose the type of chart. You can view the data in the straight grid view, a chart view, or both at the same time. Your chart will work dynamically with your dimension choices. TM1 Web and TM1 Application Web both allow users to create sandboxes for that what-if analysis. This feature can be turned on or off, or can be restricted to specific users with the use of security. Again, TM1 gives you the flexibility to accommodate your business needs. And you're able to do analysis. Not only are you able to move around the dimensions and change the format how you look, there are also quick filtering features that allow you to view data in a format that best fits your needs. And with workflow, you are able to manage your budgeting process easily. TM1 Web leverages Excel and allows you to distribute security-based reports to end users that can contain data from multiple cubes in one tab. Web sheets can also have multiple tabs within one web sheet. These web sheets are created in perspective, also known as Accelerator for Cognos Express, by your finance admin, and are kind of like BI Lite. You also have the assistance of IBM Cognos Innovation Center, where they supply blueprints. This helps coordinate planning, adapt rapidly, deploy quickly, reduce risk, react to changing business conditions, and reduces the total cost of ownership. Membership is free, and once you become a member, you'll be able to download these blueprints to your own system. Some examples of these blueprints are capital project planning performance, expense planning and control performance, integrated financial planning and forecasting, strategic finance, and workforce planning. There are several blueprints available that are also industry-specific as well. And we'll give you a brief demo on this. So where do you start? With what we've said about TM1 capabilities, where does a company start, especially when faced with the constraints around budget costs and personnel resources? The smart approach is to think big, start small. A strategy and approach that is working well for many mid-sized companies is to think big and start small, and we have seen much success with this. Mid-sized companies can achieve a significant ROI when getting their BI and performance management strategy right. So we shall talk a bit about what think big, start small means and how you can leverage such a strategy within your organization. To think big means to have a vision for an information-driven business culture that ties insight to action in all areas of the company. TM1 combines the data silos from sales, marketing, HR, operations, and other departments so that finance can analyze the feasibility of the plans from these individual departments. When we consolidate the data to work interactively, we can better align our resources, whether it's from cash flow, personnel, inventory, or equipment considerations. Mid-sized organizations are increasingly feeling the pain of too much data and inconsistent information. So getting the right information to decision makers so that they can drive the business has a direct impact on the performance of your organization. Optimal performance occurs when decision makers understand what is happening, why is it happening, and what to do about it. Ideally, you want your users to make sound, data-driven decisions at every level and across every function of the business. It means that your business users across the company can answer the three questions of how are we doing, why, and what should we be doing, so that the right decisions are made to have the most impact. Action can then be taken by linking the information and insights gained through business intelligence to the planning process. Once this is achieved, companies can start to build a new intelligence that fuels business optimization and drives growth. While these are strategic goals, and many mid-sized organizations have stayed away from BI and performance management altogether because they feel they lack the time or the resources and the skills to tackle such an implementation. However, the process does not have to be overwhelming, and you no longer have to be a big company with a big budget and a big, well-trained IT organization to effectively implement a business intelligence and performance management solution. So let's look at this a little bit further. Here we have an implementation approach in a nutshell. You want training for power users before the design session. You need to debrief your consultants on your existing planning models. Power users should be active participants in the design, if possible, and you want to create a design document to build from. Again, power users should be active participants in the build, and you want to allocate plenty of time to testing. There also is homework for your business to do internally to figure out what currently works, what is obsolete, and what you would like for the future. And Lodestar Solutions is there to guide you through this process. Start with your end reporting goals in mind and work backwards to how you want that data brought in, what are your sources, and how granular you need to get to. TM1's flexibility with calculations allows you to start with your absolute basic needs and add in additional granularity as you progress. And remember to get rid of old baggage. You're moving into a new and better place, and this is the perfect time for some internal housekeeping. Whether it's cleaning up source system data or removing reports that are no longer needed, this is the time to do it. So you want to plot out your project charter, the reason for your project, scope it out, Outline project objectives, identify the stakeholders, and get the key resources involved. You also have to identify risk factors on the time needed and the resources needed. And then there's the benefits and return on investment. When thinking on that strategy, a good starting place, if you haven't already thought it through, is to get control of your data and start to develop a data strategy. And yes, you can start without implementing a data warehouse. Although that should definitely be part of your data strategy moving forward, as it provides the right foundation for a BI and performance management strategy as it expands across your organization. But you do not need to start with the data warehouse at the beginning. You can start smaller and at an incremental pace. Organizations of all sizes are challenged to manage large and continuously growing amounts of data and sources of data. It doesn't matter how many employees you have, what sector you're in, or how mature your IT department is. You need to respond in some way to better assess the information that constantly flows in multiple directions. You need to organize this data and use the knowledge from it to raise performance across the organization. Making a start to get control of your data is imperative for the long term. Early and sustained attention to your data, its quality issues, and its governance is crucial for long-term success. Again, we want to get rid of the spreadsheets. In order to get more value from your growing number of data sources, we recommend deploying multi-dimensional analysis that effectively turns your raw data into actionable intelligence. This starts with TM1's in-memory analytics server, which helps companies get the most of their available data. So you may be asking why. Well, multi-dimensional analysis helps organizations extract maximum value from their data by transforming volumes of data into information about the business, allowing business users to analyze information in a business context. Comparisons of such things as product or channel performance in light of other important factors like regions, customers, and time. With a multi-dimensional view, users can quickly gain insight into business performance and trends. A multi-dimensional model implemented in this in-memory analytics server helps companies to provide visibility into large volumes of data by transforming it into useful information. You're able to present complex data in a business way so it's easy to understand. It helps people stay on top of changing business conditions, market shifts, mergers and acquisitions, and providing trending analysis. It reduces the burden on IT by minimizing requests from the business. It facilitates self-service access to business information. And it delivers a scalable, efficient technology that is quickly refreshed with current data. Building out a dimensional model with TM1 builds a data foundation where your data is integrated and has been transformed into a business context. Now you need to reach out to the business community and provide the capabilities that makes the information available in an easy-to-understand manner. Start with reports and dashboards to provide information on how the business is performing. Add analysis capability to gain insight into the why. Something may be off track or where you would like to go. Then add planning so you can link your insights gained directly from analysis and what-if scenario modeling into the planning process so that action is immediately available across the company. What's important here is that all can be done incrementally. Start with your data, then add capabilities as required. Eventually you deliver an information-driven culture where you base decisions on fact rather than gut feel. You're finally able to answer the question, how are we doing? Why? What should we be doing? And drive your business to greater performance because you have the information, the insight, and the ability to take action. I thank you for your time, and please contact us at lodestarsolutions.com